This is a timeless love reading for Taurus collective. This is for everybody born under the sun sign, moon, or even rising sign Taurus. So it may or may not resonate. If it doesn't resonate, you should check out some of the other readings. There's tons of readers on YouTube. But if you like my style, go ahead and hit the thumbs up, especially if it starts to resonate. Definitely hit the thumbs up or subscribe. It's a nice bit of feedback for me to see kind of what's working with people and tap into that. So let's see here. This is a timeless love read for Taurus. When you see this is when you're meant to see it. Sometimes, most of the time I kind of read for folks who have a person of interest. Let's see here. Kind of feeling like I need to read for people with a person of interest. So that's what I'm going to do today. All right. Okay. Interesting. All right. So keep in mind that the roles can be reversed in these readings, but the energy that comes up for you is the Ten of Wands. So, in terms of, life right now with everything going on, and in your relationship, the sense that I get here is feeling a little bit overwhelmed. Maybe like you've got a lot going on. Maybe the relationship feels like a burden. It feels like a struggle. There's something you're struggling with here. Within the relationship, and I feel like just looking at the rest of the spread here, like it has something to do with a decision that your partner needs to make, or one or the other of you needs to make an important decision, because the last judgment came up as well. So definitely getting the overall sense that somebody needs to make a decision here about money, possibly. Your partner has the last judgment and the Ace of Pentacles showing up for them. So or you're a person of interest. So even if you're single, maybe you got your eye on somebody, they may have an opportunity to do something that maybe you don't know about yet, because the Ace of Pentacles shows up in the position of what you don't see about them. So, but there's a couple different storylines here. It could be if you're partnered with somebody, they could be making an important decision about finances, about making a move, about buying a piece of property or something along those lines, and they're in the final stages of making that decision, and kind of what they're dealing with is sort of spilling off to you. If you're single though, or if you've got your eye on somebody but you're not yet in a relationship, this could just mean that this person is kind of weighing their options and making a decision, and they're thinking long term. They're thinking that they want to maybe start something long term, but it's just very much in the beginning stages. So I get the sense here, though, that there's really a need for some deep introspection, because if you're already feeling really burdened by this situation, it could be a fleeting thing. It could be just the end of a cycle, beginning of a new one. But if you're feeling really burdened by the decisions of a partner or a person of interest, or feeling like it's very stressful, the Hermit card coming up here for what's possible between you, it's just saying taking a time out probably wouldn't be a bad idea. Just not necessarily like a timeout isn't like, splitting if you're happy with your partner, but just taking some time to yourself might not be a bad idea. And really, sitting with yourself and listening to what your intuition says and listening to, your higher guidance. But you could also be ready to leave somebody. I also see that. And they could be ready to move on as well. And maybe what you need to do is separate and spend some time apart. But I see a conversation happening here soon with the Ace of Swords, sort of what gets in the way of being able to take this time apart. As I get the sense of a new idea, a fresh start mentally, potentially. Some fresh idea with long-term implications is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing long-term implications. I don't know exactly why I'm hearing that, but this could also speak about signing a contract. So, this new beginning and this new idea, this Ace of Swords could be also signing a contract. So I would be careful if you're feeling, unsure about a partnership. I would be aware of signing a contract or getting involved in any legal matters, at least until you're, certain that this is where you want to be for the foreseeable future. What you can do to sort of break through this, the Magician is here. You've got some good majors here. You've got 3 majors and 2 aces. This feels like a kind of a turning point, for a lot of you. With the Magician, I feel like it's saying, manifest the future you want. This is the time. If it's time to break free, if it's time to break away, if you're feeling overburdened by the situation, now's the time. It'd be better to break away now and get a really fresh start. I feel like you could really, if you're considering leaving a partner, now could be a really easy time. It could be an easy transition compared to other times. It's not saying that it will be easy to leave somebody, but it would be easier now than it would be at other times. If you are looking to, start fresh with a partner, if they're making a decision to, go steady with you or, bring you into their life in a little bit more of a stable and committed way, it's saying that you have everything, all the necessary components there. It's just a matter of kind of giving space to the relationship to allow it to breathe and grow and be what it needs to be. What it'll look like if it happens here, we have the 8 of Wands. So I like this card a lot. It's kind of a fun 8 of Wands card. Kind of busy. And it definitely confers a certain level of busyness that's appropriate for the 8 of Wands. So this could be that you make a move together, or it's rapidly, making that decision. Once you make the decision, it's just boom, 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 it's done. And that's the sense that I get, is whatever decision you make or whatever decision they make, you will rapidly come to, a conclusion about how it needs to happen. And before you know it, you'll be in the new house, or you'll be, they'll have taken the job and you'll be making preparations to move to a new city, or, or you'll decide, okay, we're going to separate, and it's just, so this spread feels like a big green light. I think I'm going to call that. I think that's what the title is going to be, is you've got the green light, you've got the go ahead. Especially if you've been feeling really stuck or burdened by it. Yeah, and underscoring that is the Knight of Wands here, or excuse me, the Knight of Swords. This Knight of Swords in this deck is a little bit less of a action-packed Knight of Swords. This guy kind of more looks like he's surveying the landscape. And so I get the sense here that he's sort of taking it all in and using the power of his intellect to say, okay, I've made a decision. Now let me look around me and see what the landscape looks like. See, if you move to a new city or something like that, okay, where are the jobs? Where are the houses? Where are the good neighborhoods? If you decide to get in a relationship with somebody, okay, well, what's their life like? What's their, what's their daily schedule like? Who are their friends? How do they spend their time? Like things that maybe you know a little bit about, but you're learning more about. I get the sense of kind of rapid progress and then sort of this looking around and surveying. The advice here is the Knight of Pentacles, and I feel like for y'all, this is a caution to take things slowly, especially if you're doing any major new ventures. If you're thinking about, you know, making a fresh start, getting into a new relationship or ending a relationship. It's saying it just really or moving to a new city. It's really saying, like, with the Knight of Pentacles, he's the guy who gets his ducks in a row. He doesn't do anything fast. So it's almost like an opposition to the energy here. We've got this sort of, you've got a green light, you can do this, but the caveat here is that you want to slow down just enough to make sure you're not making any stupid mistakes and missing any important, details. So if you're signing a new lease or something, again, we come back to this, like, signing contracts together. Make sure you're reading over the fine print. The devil's in the details here with the Knight of Pentacles, and he really wants you to slow down just enough to take in all those details. And same goes if you're getting into a new relationship. It's it definitely slow down enough to really watch and gather all the details, all the information that you need to gather. Yeah. So this is great. It seems like you guys are in a really good spot to be able to move forward with something that you're hopefully excited about, or at least will be relieved about. It definitely feels like relief is on its way. That also could be a title. I'll have to think about that. All right, let me see here. Pulled an oracle card for you. It's the one that says nurture all you love. I love this card. So with nurture all you love, these cards the oracle cards are just so straightforward, but I think if you're, for those of you who are in relationships, obviously nurturing the people that you care about is really important. This can even apply for, career and things like that. If you love your work, or even if you just love having a steady income, taking the time to nurture it, to attend to it, to give it the attention that it deserves, and that it needs from you, because there will be times where it's needier than usual. It's only going to serve you and the relationship. And so, for those of you who are, happily committed, or, you're in a relationship with no real plans to leave, but your partner is really stressed out, which is probably a good number of you, nurture all you love just suggests that that now's a time for nurturing and for listening. That's another really great way to tie in the Hermit, because the Hermit is a really good listener. That's all he's doing. He's going up the mountaintop to listen. For him, he's listening to himself. He's listening to his deep inner knowing. But you can also listen to the people around you and understand them and really hear them, hear what they're saying. And that can give you a lot of insight as well in terms of what areas you have to grow and what areas you can offer nurturing and support. So I hope that was helpful. If you like this, just go ahead and hit like or subscribe or leave a comment below. I would love to hear from y'all, and I will see you next time.